Achieving your goals in life is something that we all aspire to do. And in today's video, I'm going to go over the one thing that I have found that has always helped me achieve my goals. So let's get into the video. What's up, you guys? My name is Michael Tandarich and I run a full-service marketing agency, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Like I said, today we're going to talk about how to achieve your goals in life. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm sure you've done some research on this. You've come across plenty of videos, plenty of blogs, and plenty of posts that have literally said pretty much the same exact thing. So it wasn't too much of a surprise to me when I saw this article come up on CNBC about the simple strategy that helped increase this millionaire's odds of achieving her goals by 42%. Now, as you go through this article, it talks about how if you're renovating a kitchen, you don't want to just wake up and take a sledgehammer to the sink, but you actually want to plan everything out. And that kind of actually makes sense when you're going and planning your goals, because you kind of need to know exactly where you're going. It then goes on to talk about a research that was done where they found that people that wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve those goals. She then goes on to talk about the goal writing method that helped her achieve her dream. And it starts out by listing your top year one dreams. Get real about your dreams. Choose one dream. Make it specific, measurable, actionable, and then determine your next 3 steps that you can take now. Now, what I find funny about this article is it's pretty much exactly like every other goal setting or how to achieve your goals video or blog post, where it just says write down your goals and then read your goals and then look at your goals every single day and then write your goals again and then break them down to actionable steps. And the problem with this is it offers the opportunity to get stuck in a loop in which you want to constantly just write down your goals and then loop around on those goals and think about what it's going to be like to have those goals. And don't get me wrong, I believe you need to write down your goals and kind of have a north star to where you're going. But sitting down and reading them and writing them every single day, as great as that feels, it's not actually getting you anywhere closer to your goals. For example, if I was to go and write down as my 1-year goal, according to this article, that I wanted to own a Lamborghini, and that car costs about $200,000. If I was to break down into small steps how much that would cost every single month and what my down payment would be, that would technically give me how much I need to make in order to get that car. But going and writing down those goals and going down and breaking those out isn't enough. And it feels like you're doing something by doing that. And trust me, I've done it for years where I've just written down my goal every single day. And it feels like you're doing something and it feels motivating, but it actually doesn't get you in the direction that you're supposed to be going. Anyhow, let me give you a backstory before I get to my main point of what that thing is in order to achieve your dreams. Now, when I had started my marketing agency, it was actually called No Comply Designs when it first started, instead of Tandarich Group, which is what it is now. And the reason being is I actually used to own a skateboard design company where I would design the graphics on the bottom of the skateboards and design t-shirts, and that company was called No Comply Board. And for those of you who don't know, No Comply is actually a skateboard move, and so that's why I named the company that. And the reason I didn't change it from No Comply was I didn't want to change over the trademark that I had or change over any of the LLC stuff or any of that kind of stuff legally. And quite frankly, it was just me being lazy. Anyhow, you'll see where that comes in later in the story. As I was starting this marketing agency, I was hanging out with some family members, and we were actually at a party where we ran into the GM of this Ferrari dealership. I know I'm acting like I went to some party that was like a Great Gatsby type party with all these important people, but it was actually very random. And while I was there, I went up to him, I introduced myself, and he actually invited me down to the dealership to have a test drive in one of the cars. Anyhow, a couple weeks after meeting the GM, I went to the dealership, I test drove in a Ferrari 458 Speciale, and got to look at a couple other exotic sports cars that they had there. After we had finished, I actually asked if I could get in contact with their person that was in charge of their dealership to talk about potentially doing some marketing for them. And sure enough, he gave me the contact person for who I should talk to, and I was able to reach out to that person and schedule a meeting. After doing an initial meeting, I was actually able to sit down with the actual owner of that Ferrari dealership, and he had actually owned that dealership and 2 other ones that were the largest in the United States. Now, I do want to make a point here. In order to make that meeting happen, I actually pulled together an entire video with some mock-ups that I had made for their social media, for their emails, and additional marketing ideas that I had for them. So I went and provided a ton of value to them up front instead of just saying, "Hey, I want a meeting." And I was able to land that first initial meeting, which then got me into a couple other meetings with the owner. After having those meetings, they actually gave us an opportunity to do some marketing for an event that they had, but unfortunately I got ghosted and we ended up not doing any work for them.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
In hindsight, it makes complete sense as to why they didn't work with us. My business had just started. It was only a couple months old. It was literally only just me. The name of the company was No Comply, which literally means we're not complying. And that was actually something that they had brought up in one of the meetings and was questioning why my company was named that. And quite frankly, I didn't have any case studies to be able to show some past results that I have done for other clients. Now, right about now, you're probably wondering,
dude, why are you telling me this sad ass story about how you blew a deal with Ferrari?
Here's the point of me telling you that story. Even though the name of my company was completely whack, even though I was a couple months old, even though I had little to no experience, even though I had no case studies, and even though it was just me, I was still able to land a couple meetings with the owner of 3 of the largest Ferrari dealerships in the country. And again, Ferrari isn't just like the Honda dealership down the street. Like, it is Ferrari. And yes, ultimately I didn't land them as a client, but the point of the story is this. No amount of goal setting or writing down my goals every single day or reading my goals every single day or making a roadmap for my goals and my dreams would have ever gotten me into that meeting with the owner of those Ferrari dealers. What got me into that meeting was having belief in myself and taking action. I didn't sit and write that I wanted to work with an exotic car dealership every single day and then look at that every single day and then hope that that would happen. I just took the action and made it happen. And granted, yes, I did run into the guy at a party and then I was able to talk to him that way, but I've done this with plenty of other companies in terms of sales and getting to that kind of meeting. So my point is in this giant rambling video is this. Writing down your goals is good. Writing them daily is probably good too. And having a roadmap for what you want to do is good. But don't get stuck doing that and feeling like that is action, because it's not. Writing down your goals every single day is not action. It feels good, it's not action. What is action is going and doing the things that you need to do to make those dreams and goals happen. And making those dreams and goals happen isn't like, oh, I'm gonna send a couple emails out and check this little task thing off. Like, it is massive action that you have to take in order to make these things happen. And I'm sure you've heard that already before, but the other part you need to hear is this. You need to believe in yourself that you're able to go and do those things. Sometimes I look back and I go, how the hell did I land a deal with Ferrari when my name was No Comply and I had just started my business, I had no case studies, and it was just me. And the only reason I was able to do that is I had the confidence to believe in myself and step out and make that action and make that thing happen in order to get me into the seat, to give me a chance to potentially do their marketing. Granted, it probably would have been good to have changed my name or had those case studies, but it gave me the experience to know that I needed those things before actually going and doing that crazy pitch on these huge clients like Ferrari. If you want to go and achieve the goals and dreams in your life, it really just comes down to having the confidence in yourself and then taking action on that. You don't have to go and write down goals every single day. You don't have to do something that Tony Robbins says to do every single day or some life coach that you have. It's just go and believe in yourself, have confidence, and then take action. Anyhow, that's all I got for today. Like any other YouTuber, I'm gonna ask you right now about subscribing and liking the video. So if you do that, that'd be great. But if you don't, that's fine too, not really. But I would really appreciate it if you did subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next video.